Case about Kedarnath helicopter. The vanishing rotor. They say Kedarnath is where heaven whispers to earth. But on one stormy morning, heaven went silent, and a helicopter disappeared without a trace. No distress call. No wreckage. No survivors. Only a single blood-streaked rudraksha bead found high in the Himalayas, and a pilot who returned 7 days later, unable to speak a single word. Anaya Rawat had flown hundreds of missions, but something about this one unnerved her. A seasoned pilot with 5 years of mountain aviation under her belt, she knew the Kedarnath circuit well. But June 13th was different. The clouds moved like ink swirling in water, unpredictable and thick. Her co-pilot, Dev Mehta, cracked a joke to ease the tension. "You know what they say," he grinned, strapping in. "No ghosts on the manifest, right?" Anaya smiled tightly. But deep inside, a knot twisted. They were scheduled to carry 4 passengers from Fateh to Kedarnath Temple, a 15-minute flight. The weather radar showed minor turbulence. Nothing unusual. Their passengers boarded. A monk in orange robes, who spoke to no one. A honeymoon couple from Delhi. And a man in a black windbreaker who refused to remove his sunglasses, even indoors. The helicopter lifted into the air at 7:04 a.m. Within minutes, the landscape turned ghostly. Fog swallowed the valleys. Static buzzed in their headphones. "This isn't normal," Dev muttered, fiddling with the comms. "We're losing altitude readings." Then the monk stood up. "Sit down," Anaya yelled over the roar of the blades. But the monk only raised one hand, and the helicopter's engine cut out. No mechanical warning. No reason. The craft plummeted, screaming downward toward the pine-carved cliffs, until everything went black. 6 days later, Anaya woke up in a field hospital in Rudraprayag. Scratches covered her face. Her eyes were wild. The doctors said she'd been found wandering the hills barefoot, clutching a broken rudraksha mala soaked in dried blood. No one else from the flight was found. She couldn't speak. Not wouldn't, couldn't. Her vocal cords were intact, but something deeper had shut down. PTSD, they said. But Dev Mehta's sister, Meera, a Delhi-based investigative journalist, didn't buy it. "My brother doesn't just vanish," she told authorities. "I want access to the flight data. I want the truth." And she would get it, even if it killed her. Meera pulled strings. The crash site was never formally declared due to no wreckage found, but a search team reported strange magnetic disturbances near Triyujanarayan, a sacred site linked to Shiva and Parvati's celestial wedding. They found something else, a partial black box, with a corrupted but recoverable audio log. She played it in a secluded lab. 7:11 a.m., cloud ceiling dropping, switching to manual nav. 7:13 a.m., distorted voice. "Passenger, he's doing something, what the hell is that?" 7:14 a.m., static. Then chanting in Sanskrit. 7:15 a.m., male voice. He's not human." 7:15 and 32 seconds a.m., screeching noise. Sharp whimper. Silence. Then, nothing. Meera visited Anaya in recovery. "Do you remember anything?" she asked gently, placing the bloodied rudraksha beads on the table. Anaya's eyes widened. Her hand trembled as she pointed to the 9th bead. That one wasn't rudraksha, it was glass, carved with a microscopic glyph. Meera sent it to a cryptographer. The results stunned her. The symbol matched ancient Shaiva Tantra glyphs, used in rituals to trap entities between realms. Meera whispered aloud, "What if this wasn't a crash? What if it was a ritual?" Obsessed now, Meera hired a private chopper and retraced the flight route. On June 21st, exactly 8 days after the incident, she followed the trajectory logged from the partial black box. Near Corny Peak, the clouds gathered unnaturally again. In the mist, a chime echoed. Not wind. Not birds. A low, metallic hum. Then she saw it. The missing helicopter, hovering mid-air, completely intact, but unmoving. As if time had stopped. Its blades didn't spin. Its windows were fogged from the inside. Meera's pilot screamed to turn back. She filmed what she could before they fled. But the footage mysteriously corrupted. Anaya finally spoke. It started with whispers in her sleep. Then one morning, she wrote a single phrase on her hospital whiteboard. He called the storm, and the storm obeyed. Under hypnosis, Anaya described the monk, not as a human, but an agori channeling a trapped spirit. He said Kedarnath had forgotten its debt, she whispered. He said the temple owes a soul every 1,000 moons. Dev had tried to intervene, but the man in the windbreaker pulled a blade. They weren't passengers. They were priests of an ancient rite, using modern tools to fulfill forgotten pacts. But the ritual backfired. The storm didn't just take them, it froze them in time, caught in a rift between death and sky. On July 13th, exactly 1 month later, temple pilgrims reported a helicopter engine sputtering near Kedarnath base camp. It crash-landed on the ridge, the same helicopter from the incident. Inside, a man stumbled out, Dev Mehta. Alive. Age. Beard grown. Skin like stone. He didn't speak. Just clutched a fragment of orange cloth and whispered one word. He's not done. Medical tests showed he'd aged 6 years in 1 month. Anaya, upon seeing him, began screaming uncontrollably and was sedated. The helicopter was confiscated by military intelligence the next day. Files were sealed. Mira was threatened with arrest if she pursued further. But she left one final entry in her blog. There are places in India that don't exist on maps, only in memory and myth. Kedarnath is one of them. When men try to bind gods to schedules and machines, the mountain doesn't protest. It simply takes back what it's owed. The blog was taken down within hours. But one image survived, circulated secretly on encrypted forums. A picture of the chopper, floating mid-air. Behind it, in the clouds, a silhouette with glowing eyes, arms raised in eternal prayer.